So stash ads, here we go first. We'll go from the small ones to the larger ones. Sounds good? So here we go. First up is a 32nd scale 1960 Mazda R360. This is just so weird it's cool. Look at that beautiful artwork. It has the car and some kind of UFO bird. I guess that's a Japanese Gulf sign and kind of a treehouse looking thing and a gas station that could probably catch on fire pretty easy, but I don't know. This I was just kind of drawn to. It was made by Airy. And it's a Toyota Publica, not to be confused with pubic car. This I found is Mazda's first automobile, which was pretty interesting. And just kind of look at that. That is teeny. And so I was thinking about my last 32nd scale group build, and I don't know, this could be fun trying to put a blown Hemi in. We will have to see. So that's pretty fun. So continuing the theme, we now have a Subaru 360 Deluxe K111 1968 Hasegawa 124th Historic Car Series number 7. This thing is pretty much just as weird as the other one, only 24 scale. And it's actually a pretty neat kit. I won't go into everything on it, but look at that body. Another one that will be fun to see if you can put a blown Hemi into it. I don't know. What should go into it? Should we make a gasser out of it? Custom? Monster truck? I don't know. Put it in the comments. Subaru 360 Deluxe 1968. We're not stopping there. Here we got another little tiny Japanese car. This one is a Fujimi Toyota S800. This one is clearly a race car because it has numbers. Again, look at that body. That is just super cool, complete with target top. I don't know what to do about this one, but I just kind of had to have it. So, any thoughts on this one? This one certainly could have a blown Hemi in it. Most definitely. Cool little race car. Has an engine in it. Approve. Next up we have some parts. There was a fella that had Fender Skirts. And I am a sucker for vintage custom parts out of these old AMT kits. I just think that these old Fender Skirts are just super cool. And that one even has a fin on it. I had a real hard time deciding which ones I wanted. He had quite the collection of them. And so I'm going through the box, and I thought, ask him, how much for all of them? And he just kind of thought I was a little crazy, and he cut me a deal, and I said sold, so we got them all. This is just super fun. And we have all of the Fender Skirts now. What am I going to do with all these? Who knows? Maybe I should build a car with them. A car out of all of the Fender Skirts. Whatever that would be, it would probably have a blown Hemi in it. So we didn't stop with custom Fender Skirts from old SMP kits. We got this too. We got a 3-in-1 1961 compact car customizing kit by SMP. Look at all those. Those are good ones. And as you can see, 61 Corvair Monza. Let's see what's inside this box. Ooh, they look like they've multiplied. That is a bonus. So this one does not have the top on it. What is interesting is this kit, the top was separate. So you could turn it into, either have a choice of a convertible or a hardtop. I believe it probably has the Fender Skirts. And there's the top for the gray one. I believe they even had a 4-door sedan with the really cool roof. I would like to have that. So what am I going to do with this? Who knows? You can see what I did with my last 61 customizing kits right here. Sort of thinking, not really thinking blown Hemi in this. Thinking maybe Allison aircraft engine in the back. Think that's possible? Anything's possible with model cars. We'll go into that one in more depth some other time, but that's pretty fun. George Barris, king of the customizers. New, not really. What does that say? New Jack Chrome hub. Anybody know what that means? Put it in the comments. Last but not least, I am not really a fanboy of these things, but this one I really like because I built it as a kid. 1964 Cadillac Coupe de Ville Johann. USA oldies. Hot Wheels and cool stuff. That is certainly cool stuff. And if you look carefully, you can see it's still sealed. I don't really like sealed kits because they could be resealed, and that would be real unfortunate if it had like a, you know, like a Revell 70 Roadrunner or something in it instead of this. But we're going to just leave it sealed for right now. I remember building this when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and it was molded in this weird green plastic, and I got a bottle of Testor's Purple and pretty much used all the paint because at that point in time I just had to have a purple Cadillac, and no telling what happened to that model. I think it probably got blown up by a firecracker, set on fire. I don't know. Probably, you know, purple Cadillac might have been a good idea to set it on fire. So what am I going to do with this one? I have no idea, but it is super cool. One of my favorite Cadillacs. I'd love to have a 61 and 62 and even a 63. So I want to thank my buddy Clay for holding this out for me, and that will be a project sometime down the road. I know I said last but not least on that Johann Cadillac, but I have one last 64 to show, and these are just super cool. This Curtis Turner 64 Ford built up model is just, and is detailed out. Really great looking build. He had a friend. We got Tiny Lund to go right next to him. This doesn't even really do these two fellows justice. I think we're gonna put these into the studio and take some photos of them, show those right now.
It's one thing to collect unbuilt kits, but I really enjoy collecting well-built models. I don't really think these are replicas of a particular race car, but each one displays quality craftsmanship. Tiny Lund drove for several different teams during the 1964 season, after gaining fame for winning the 1963 Daytona 500. He drove a car similar to this during the latter part of the season for car owner Lyle Stelter. The engine is cleanly wired and plumbed, with all the detail being nicely in scale. The interior features all the race car details, including a tape-wrapped steering wheel. The underside is well detailed, with dual shocks at all corners and an aluminum exhaust. The Talladega Museum has a restored car similar to this on display. That car has a bit more orange color, so I'm unsure of the accuracy of this color. It still looks nice though. I was really drawn to this Curtis Turner car. I think it looks pretty tough since it has a lowered suspension compared to the Tiny Lund car. Curtis Turner was banned from NASCAR in 1961 for attempting to form a drivers' union. He would not race in NASCAR until they lifted that ban in 1965. This car appears to represent a car he might have raced in USAC events in 1964. This one also displays clean and nice in-scale details under the hood. The interior is finished with similar details like the Tiny Lund model. This model appears to have the chassis swapped in from the modern AMT 1960 Ford Starliner for even more detail. I would still like to know the name of the fellow that built these models. He did a great job. My next video, I'll start an all-new project based on another fairly obscure kit. I'm really looking forward to that one because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.